Okay, question 9 on page 32 of 1.6 of the Reasoning and Communication questions on simultaneous equations. Okay, so I haven't actually read through this yet, just starting from scratch, just to show you how I work through it. The materials to make 25 kilograms of an alloy of copper and zinc. That's probably important. It's got a number in it, so it's probably important. They cost $124. If the copper costs $6.40 a kilogram and the zinc costs $2.80 a kilogram, find the composition of the alloy. Okay, so what have we got? Let's say, well, we've got copper and zinc, so let's use C and Z. So C and Z. So find the composition of the alloy. The composition is how much, like the ratio of one to the other. So this is all measured in kilograms. So let's say that C is the kilograms, or the number of kilograms of copper, and Z equals number of kilograms of zinc. Cool. Now we can start writing some equations. So we have three important values with kilograms in them. So those two and that one have kilograms in them, and then we have 3 with dollars in them. So those two and that one have dollars in them. Well, they probably match up into sets for the various equations. Let's start with the dollars, because it kind of makes more sense. Some amount of dollars plus another amount of dollars equals the total. So in this case, $6.40 a kilogram for the copper. So if you take $6.40 or 6.4 and multiply it by the number of kilograms of copper, that will give you the total cost for the copper. If you add the $2.80 for each kilo of zinc, multiply it by the number of kilos of zinc, that will give us the total cost for the zinc, and altogether they'll give us $124, the total cost of the alloy. Just a little hint, with Z's when you're doing your algebra, good to put a little line through the semi-vertical thing, or the angled part of the Z, so you don't confuse them with 2's. Okay, so we have one equation there. Equation 2, well, let's try the things in red with the kilograms. So, well, that one's actually pretty easy, I think. The total number of kilos of copper plus the total number of kilos of zinc equals 25 kilograms all up. So that's equation 1. Equation 2. Hopefully I haven't made any errors in these. If you want, you can pause now and try and work out the answer. And yeah, I'll give you a couple of seconds and then I'll start on it. Okay, let's start. I'll use my favorite substitution method from 2. C, oops, I forgot my little Z cross there. C plus Z equals 25. Therefore, yeah, let's use C. C equals 25 minus Z. And then sub into, or we could say, we'll call that equation 3. Sub 3 into 1. Okay, let's stick 3 into 1. So wherever we have C in equation 1, we're going to put this whole bunch. So in equation 1, 6.4C. Therefore, 6.4 times C, which is now 25 minus Z, plus 2.8Z, plus 2.8Z, Z equals $124 it was. Important when you get to the end to remember what units you're working in as well. But that at the beginning, that also gave us a hint as to how to construct our equations, all the kilograms going together and all the dollars going together. Anyway, moving on. 6.4 times that, I'm going to get a calculator. Okay, so we have, calculating that really quickly in my head, 160 minus 6.4 z, expanding those brackets out, plus 2.8 z equals 124. And then we got 6.4 z, or negative 6.4 z plus 2.8 z. And let's stick that in the calculator. 2.8 minus 6.4, negative 3.6. So 160, therefore 160 negative 3.6 z. That's a bit neater than my last line. Okay, so that was just collecting these two terms. Just highlight that because it's getting a bit messy. And back here I just expanded that out. And then we will, well, let's move the 3.6 to the other side to make it positive. So 160 equals 124 plus 3.6 z. And now subtract the 124 off both sides. Can I do that in my head? It's like 36 or something. Yeah, 36 equals 3.6 z. And then divide both sides by 3.6. Now I got the feeling that's 10. Yep, but it's late, so just check it on the calculator. So z equals 10. Cool. So what the hell was z again? Z was the cost of zinc. So zinc costs $10 per kilogram. Now, copper. Oh no, Z wasn't the cost of zinc. Z was the amount of zinc. So, therefore, 10 kilograms of zinc in our composition. So it's 10 kilos of zinc. So with now we can sub Z equals 10 into equation 2 from the beginning, and we end up with, therefore, C plus 10 equals 25, therefore C equals 15, and that's pretty easy. C is 15, Z is 10, so that means there's 15 kilograms copper. And now we answer the question in words. And we can say the alloy is, you could say, made up 10 kilos of zinc, 15 kilos of copper, or you could say, you could write as a ratio, the alloy is zinc to copper, 10 to 15, or something like that. You could say that. You could simplify that. You could say, or you could say 1 part zinc, 1 part zinc to 1.5 parts copper. Because it's talking about the composition, it's just sort of asking the general ratio. Anyway, that's one way to answer it. You could have just said it's 15 kilograms copper, 10 kilograms zinc, which is probably what they had in the back of the book.